Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their morning. That's right, folks. It is the morning, and we've got another unboxing for you today, folks. And this one is extremely special, folks. This is a set of bars, actually, that I'm extremely excited to unbox and show you all. And it's a very special set indeed, a very difficult to find set, actually. And it's actually a set that has been produced by, I would say, my absolute favorite refiner, and that refiner is a refiner that you should be familiar with by now if you're a regular here on my channel, and that refiner is Engelhard. Now, Engelhard is probably one of the most commonly known refiners that exist from the 70s, 80s, 90s. They were producing they were kind of looked at as one of the companies that was kind of go-to when it came to, like, if jewelry stores were trying to source some high-quality bullion, or any companies were trying to source some high-quality bullion. Engelhard had their hands in very many things, whether it came to industrial usage of metals or investment purposes, right? If they were just creating bullion rounds and bars for the purposes of investment, because this was a very popular thing to do back in the 80s, right? Especially, and leading into the end of the 80s. So there were a lot of companies. Engelhard, I would say, would be the biggest company. After that, maybe Johnson Matthey. Johnson Matthey actually was around quite a bit longer than Engelhard. They actually, now you can still get some bars. Those Asahi bars are actually formerly JM. So that's going to be, if you actually pay attention, those Asahi bars actually have a very similar style to your old school vintage Johnson Matthey bars. And so some of those Johnson Matthey bars, the vintage ones, will be older and some of them will be newer. Whereas most of your Engelhard bars will be older. Those will be kind of predating the 2000s. So at any rate, what we got here in front of us is an Engelhard set, right? So I'm very excited about this box set, because this is a box set that I'm always kind of keeping an eye out for. It doesn't really pop up too often. There's actually 1,000 of these box sets to exist that come fully intact with the wooden box. Now there's a wooden box inside here, and you'll also find 3 bars in here as well. And actually what's very interesting is that Johnson Matthey made a very similar set exactly like this, which contain Johnson Matthey bars in it. Now this box that we have in here has Engelhard bars in it, but an interesting thing to note is that this very same set that we see here, Johnson Matthey made the same type of set as well. So you can find these sets with the Johnson Matthey bars in them. You can find these sets with the Engelhard bars in them, and I would say that, from my estimate, maybe the Johnson Matthey box sets might even be harder to find and might even be produced in smaller numbers, because based off of the information I could find on all Engelhard, and of course those mintage estimates should be taken with a grain of salt, but based off of those figures, there shouldn't be more than 500 of the Johnson Matthey box sets of this type that exist, and possibly even fewer, whereas all Engelhard estimates that there's 1,000 of these box sets that contain the Engelhard. So many people might be confused. Some people might already know what it is that we're talking about, what it is that the contents will be of within this box, and others might have no idea, and they might be like, why the heck are you prolonging this? Let's cut to the chase and show us what's inside the box. So let's open up the box, and we will see here that we've got a nice wooden box. And one thing I see straight off the bat here is that this is missing a very iconic Statue of Liberty. I was expecting actually here to see a Statue of Liberty figure here on the top of this wooden box, because typically when these boxes were issued, let me actually show you what I mean by that. I just dropped some stuff there, which was not good because those are 100-ounce bars. But typically, what I wanted to show you is that these boxes typically look like this. They would have the Statue of Liberty here imprinted on the front. So it's very interesting to me that this box does not have the Statue of Liberty imprinted on it. Very interesting indeed. So that's one thing because I have multiple of these 100 issued, 1,000 issued boxes, and it's very interesting to me that this box right here, while it is the exact same box, for whatever reason they left off the Statue of Liberty. Very interesting. Both wood grain boxes, both have the exact same latches here on the front, so that leads me to believe that this is indeed an authentic box, but for whatever reason this one is missing the Statue of Liberty etching here on the front. Now if you look on the All Engelhard website, it will show this sort of silver Statue of Liberty etching. So let's take a look and see what we have in the contents here. And yes, sure enough, we have the Statue of Liberty here in the inside, and that's another indicator. It should say Liberty and have a Statue of Liberty here on the inside as well. When we open this up, we see the same thing as well, right? So these are both authentic Liberty boxes, but for whatever reason this one is missing the Statue of Liberty on the top. Now here you've got the bars here, no assay cards, and here you've got the assay cards and no bars. Oh my gosh, did we get the whole box set without the bars? No. The seller was kind enough to actually package the bars separately here. So we've got the bars packaged separately. I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. And you got a 1 ounce, you got a 5 ounce, and then you've also got yourself a 10 ounce. So this is something to note here, is that it's actually a 16 ounce set. And a 10 ounce, 5 ounce, and 1 ounce. And from my understanding, they weren't always issued with consistent serial numbers, because every time I've seen these boxes available together, you know, of course, there's one situation where the boxes could just be, I mean, the items could just be swapped out in these boxes. But anytime I've seen these boxes, they've never been consistent serial numbers. So you take a look here. This one's got a, I'll just tell you what it is. It's an 050216. Okay, and this one is nothing close to that. This is a 19842, and this one is a A4875. So one thing is that they could be swapped out bars. The other thing is that they were not issued like that, and my inkling is that they weren't issued with consistent serial numbers, because the serial number strings are not consistent. Some of them have letter prefixes, others don't, and there's also variations within that. So anyways, when you look at a Liberty Trade Silver Johnson Matthey bar, it will have a JM stamp on there. And actually there's two variations of the Johnson Matthey ones. There's one that have a 1982 date stamp, and there's one that have no date stamp. So that gets a little bit more complex when you're collecting the Johnson Matthey silver bars. But for the Engelhard 10 ounce MTB Liberty Trade silver bars, there's only this one 10 ounce bar, and it looks like this, and you can identify it because you'll see this little E logo right. That E logo indicates that this is an Engelhard variant. These 10 ounce Liberty Trade silver bars were actually produced by Johnson Matthey, Metal Arts, and Engelhard. So this one is going to be an Engelhard, and the indicator is that E. And the same way here, you'll see an E here. And these are actually produced in 1986, because you see a 1986 copyright right. So these, I guess, are produced after the JM variations and after the Metal Arts variation. And I think what it was that Metal Arts started things off out of Rochester, New York, and then things shifted over to Johnson Matthey. Johnson Matthey took things over, and then the big boys Engelhard took things over, because Engelhard actually has the highest purity silver. All of their stuff is marked with 999 plus, as opposed to JM, which will be marked with 395. So Engelhard was kind of looked at as the higher premium alternative, and so sometimes when people wanted things done right, or they wanted things done with the utmost of quality, they would use Engelhard silver, and then there would be no substitution. You get what I'm saying? And so here you've got a 5 ounce variation. You'll be able to find the 1 ounce, 5 ounce, and 10 ounce variation in the Johnson Matthey varieties as well. It's just that for the 1 ounce and the 10 ounce, you've got undated versions for the JM as well. So here again, you've got that E logo there. Okay. So again, we'll take a look here, and we'll find that, hey, 19163. What was the thing here? 19842. So pretty close there on the serials. They're not sequential or anything. And then here you got an A prefix. Did we have an A prefix here? Yep, we had an A prefix here. A4875, A1355. Now these 5 ounce Engelhard bars are actually estimated at 7,500 minted. And then the box sets, there's apparently 1,000 of these box sets out there. With the wood box with the Liberty indented on there. And here you've got an U66687. Okay, and each of these came with the assay cards. So you got the 10-ounce assay card, you got the 5-ounce assay card, and you got the 1-ounce assay card. All coming with that. That's really nice, honestly. I'm really excited to pick up this box set because they don't come at low premiums and they're rarely available, honestly, because there's only 1,000 of them apparently that are out there. So I was really excited to be able to pick up a duplicate because now I can put this thing on my website in case somebody else is interested in picking one up. And I kind of would have to say I'll probably put up this one without the top because I like this whole silver top that they've got. Got a little bit of tape damage here on this box, so there's some flaws, but regardless, it's still a very special piece right here. So I'm super excited to have been able to have the opportunity to purchase this, and I've been really itching to actually show you this box set as well. So I was excited to be able to pick up another one and unbox it for you all so that you could take a look at it up close. And now all of these Liberty Trade silver bars are very common products on our website, and so MTB, Manfred Tardella and Brooks, they actually commission many different companies, including the Mexican Mint, as well as Metal Arts out of Rochester, New York, as well as Johnson Matthey, as well as Engelhard. They commission these companies to produce pieces for them featuring the Statue of Liberty on them. So you'll find that there are a wide array of bars as well as rounds of varying different weight classes, both fractional as well as oversized rounds and bars that were produced by all these different companies over the course of multiple decades, I think. And it's very interesting because they have different dates, and so there's a whole slew of MTB Liberty Trade silver pieces out there that you can collect. And actually, we are quite specialized in those particular pieces, and so we have quite a wide array of MTB Liberty pieces available. And so in fact, we'll probably just do an SBS drop right here when it comes down to Liberty Trade silver pieces. I'm happy to have showed you these cool rare box sets here, but on top of these rare box sets, we've also got a lot of the more common, well, I wouldn't call them common, but you know, they're a little bit higher mintage in the sense that, you know, 5,000 minted, 10,000 minted rounds, as well as a lot rarer pieces as well available. So we'll do an SBS drop for the more commonly available MTB rounds and bars. And so if you would like to, go ahead and take part in that, and we'll tell you the details for that here just in a second. Hope you have a great day. Cheers. That's right, folks. So today we've got an SBS drop, and it's going to be an interesting one, folks. Today's episode was actually about the MTB bars, and we looked at this wood box set, but actually today's SBS drop is going to actually be related to the MTB rounds. Now, Manfred Tardella and Brooks had quite a few rounds that were produced for them by a wide variety of different refiners, but we're going to be sticking to some of the common ones for today's SBS drop. So today is going to be your opportunity to pick up some of those more commonly available silver rounds produced by MTB. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those more common ones. And here we've got a 1985 dated MTB Liberty round. Now, 1985, they actually had a couple different rounds produced by a couple different refiners, and those refiners are the ones that we are mostly aware of. Engelhard and Johnson Matthey, those are the ones that everybody knows about, right? Mexican Mint and Metal Arts, they kind of produced some of the more obscure MTB pieces, but Engelhard and Johnson Matthey, they were the big dogs. And so 1985, actually, in that year, for the common Liberty rounds that were 1 ounce, they were actually produced both by Engelhard and Johnson Matthey. And so if we flip this over, that's where we'll be able to tell who this was produced by. And right here, you got an E, and so this E logo right there indicates that this is an Engelhard produced 1985 dated MTB Liberty round, and these MTB Liberty rounds are going to be actually estimated at 10,000 minted according to allengelhard.com. Now on the flip side, we also have Johnson Matthey, who produced the Liberty rounds in 1985, and those will look almost identical on the front, slight differences probably, but they're both dated with 1985. Okay, But on the flip side here, you actually got a Johnson Matthey logo here. It's a JM Hammer logo. Very small to see, but it's right there in the same place that the E was. You got the JM Hammer logo. So that's the only difference there, really, for the most part. And you both got 1985 dated rounds. So both of these we're going to be running specials on. So go ahead and take a look at the price right now. Our SBS drop price is going to be our sale price for the next 24 hours. So if you're interested in grabbing those, be sure to grab these and secure these for your stack. 1985 dated with the E logo and the 1985 dated with the JM Hammer logo. And on top of that, something else to know is that there's actually a 1986 dated round, which is the Centennial round, because 1986 is 100 years. And bam, E logo. So this one has an E logo and this one's inside a box. And so this one indicates that this is also an Engelhard, but this was produced 1 year later in 1986. So you've got your 1985 E logo, you've got your 1985 JM Hammer logo, and now you've got your 1986 E logo. And this one right here, folks, is going to be actually twice as rare as this 1985 dated E logo. This is a 10,000 minted estimated, and this is a 5,000 minted. So twice as rare on this. The 1985 JM Hammer logo, actually not sure on the mintage estimate on this because all Engelhard doesn't provide mintage estimates for JM rounds. So we're kind of at a loss there, not sure exactly how many of these JM rounds are out there, but all I can tell you for sure is that in 1985, JM and Engelhard produced the rounds, the standard production 1 ounce Liberty rounds, and then in 1986 it was just Engelhard. And so all of these items we have as staple products on our store, but for the next 24 hours we've dropped the price and you can grab these and secure these for your stack. If you're interested in grabbing all three, we even have a listing where you can purchase all three of them together. So if you're interested in grabbing all three of them, you can get that at an even deeper discount for the next 24 hours. Otherwise, if you've already got a couple of these for your stack or you just want to add one, go ahead and just add one to your stack. So that pricing will be good for anybody while the availability is there, and while you want them you can grab them. If not, the items will still be available after 24 hours. So I hope you enjoyed today's SBS drop, and I do hope some of y'all can participate in it. Oh, and if you haven't had a chance to yet, be sure to check out our social media landing page at solo.to/silverbarstacker. There you can find our direct website link, which is silverbarstacker.com, as well as our links to our other social media channels, such as this very YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page, our Twitter page, and we also have the link to our Whatnot page, which is where we actually run our live auctions and actually also have all of these same SBS drops that we hold. We run those same drops on our Whatnot store, and we also have live auctions happening literally all the time. So the way that you can be notified about those auctions is to be following us there on whatnot.com/user/silverbarstacker. And we hope to see you there, folks. Thank you, and have a great day. Hey.